So they're calling this the unconventional convention. Why is that? Take us through it.
Well, it's the first time we've had the convention almost completely online. We'll have people dialing in from right around the country, including Joe Biden sticking it out in Delaware, but they're still holding on to the convention centre here in Milwaukee for that show of support for the state. And it's really extraordinary. You've got security all around and protesters too, outnumbering the actual number of people allowed inside the centre who are all watching the live feed anyway. So it's a pandemic compromise, but the question is, will it win over all those people in Wisconsin who didn't back the Democrats last time? This is the really big question. It was supposed to funnel $250 million into Milwaukee, which has been struggling well before the coronavirus shutdowns with manufacturing downturns. But it's also the state that turned Trump last time after a 7% margin of support for Barack Obama. Last time it was 47.5 to 46.5. I think that's right. It's just around or less than 1% between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And so this was supposed to be the show of support for the state to win them back. The question is it still going to win back those Wisconsiners? This is what they had to say when I was asking them at the pub yesterday.
I think, one of the reasons for having the convention here was to get to the Midwestern United States where they didn't do as well as they thought they were going to do last time and energize their supporters out here.
Do you feel like that they're talking to the Midwest now?
I think they're trying. I think they need to do a better job.
So the really important thing for this convention was supposed to be to win back Wisconsin. It's now all basically virtual. Do you think that's going to impact the Democrats here?
I don't think so because everything is virtual now.
Sorry, Danica, going to correct myself. It was 47.2 to 46.5. So it's really narrow margin for the state, but it delivered all 10 of those electoral votes to Trump, which is the key thing. Polling now shows that there's definitely a narrowing margin between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. CNN's poll showing the first one head-to-head, Biden at 50% to Trump to 46%. Now, if they focus in on Wisconsin, and that's really key here, Biden's at 50, Trump at 43.5. And so that shows this is really shaping out to be a tight race in Wisconsin. No side can take it for granted, but how they cut through here is the question.
You are in Milwaukee for us, Annalise. What is the mood like, I guess, on the ground there, particularly with Joe Biden compared to what it was like with Hillary Clinton? Because she ignored Wisconsin in 2016 and effectively they turned against her.
She ignored it at her peril, and even since she's acknowledged that it probably was a mistake, given that it did cost her the election, so few electoral votes in it, but Wisconsin really was key to that. On the ground here, you can get a sense that people are really burnt out at the moment. They've gone through so much, the economy's under pressure, it's hit Wisconsin hard, but also just the ongoing coronavirus pandemic restrictions. The masks are being worn here. I get to not wear one at the moment because I'm doing a broadcast, but after that it goes right back on. There is that ongoing frustration though, in particular with Hillary Clinton, at that snub that she didn't come here at the last election. She's only from Illinois, which is an hour's drive away at the best. It would have been easy to come here. They took it for granted. No swing state likes to be taken for granted. And even when I was asking people at the pub yesterday what they thought of her, you could tell it still wasn't held in very high regard. It seemed like there were a lot of people in Wisconsin who didn't vote Democrat just because they didn't like Hillary.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like, that definitely happened.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't like Hillary, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
Do you think it was a mistake for the Democrats to have Hillary up?
No, why not? I thought she was all right, but...
I feel differently about that.
Why do you think the Democrats didn't do as well in Wisconsin last time as they were hoping?
Well, Hillary didn't come visit at all.
I don't think people like her, in all honesty.
Well, I don't know.
She's not very likable.
At the very least, for the people I've been asking, they find Joe Biden an inoffensive option, but whether he'll get people excited enough to get out and vote is the question. Kamala Harris also seems like a positive choice for many people here, that she is a younger, more vibrant candidate, but also taps into those voters, especially people of color. And so that's going to be key in getting people out excited enough to vote. Of course, there's a lot of issues with getting out to vote in a pandemic, also those issues with the post office and people registering to vote ahead of time. Plenty of people won't be bothered to do it. So it's going to be a lot of pressure for these parties to get people to the polls. This convention, it'll be interesting to see how much it cuts through. 2-hour broadcast each night for the next 4 nights. a number of speakers. But will anyone tune in, and will the major broadcasters take it live or talk over the top? That's the big question for organisers. They'll find out soon exactly how many people they can reach.